Hello to everyone listening, Mr. Tobin. My name is Robert Padmore, and I'm a finance specialist for H8 Consulting Group. And along with my colleagues, Alex, Aëlle, Annalisa, Han, and Natasha, I welcome you to our presentation today about how Air Canada can ameliorate their external communication methods that they're presently using to face their problem in a post-pandemic world. We have spent the past few weeks assessing their position within the industry and have done extensive research, analysis, and identified certain key problems over the past few months that Air Canada's been experiencing. And we've also developed recommendations to how they can improve their current use of their external communication methods, digital and other, that we will later talk about, to bring consumers back into the market and start traveling with Air Canada again. We hope you enjoy our presentation. Without further ado, I pass you off to my colleague.
Hi, my name is Annalisa Antonacci, and I'm an accountant at H8 Communication Group. The main problem Air Canada is facing today is communicating to future passengers about the maintained and updated safety measures on all of their flights, especially now since we are approaching a post-pandemic world. The scope of our proposal will focus on the current and future passengers who fly with Air Canada. We will be using newsletters, emails, broadcasts on television, and social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as our external communication tools. We believe these channels are the most effective in dispersing the information on the maintained and updated COVID-19 measures. For our team to create an effective plan to improve the communication channels of Air Canada, we must use a variety of different methods and sources in order to do so. So this includes any available data concerning consumer trends in relation to COVID-19, as well as any data available about past successful Air Canada external communications. We will also be looking at any financial reports spanning back to approximately 10 years, as well as any published information regarding communication strategies that are effective in reassuring passengers on aviation transportation. Testimony and feedback will be very useful, especially from past Air Canada passengers. We will also be doing a comprehensive analysis on any of the company's social media platforms and outlets. So this obviously includes social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, but it also includes any newsletters, subscriber emails, customer promotions and updates, as well as any television advertisements.
Now, to provide everyone with some background on Air Canada. They are the biggest domestic and international airline in the country of Canada. Their history goes way back, as they are the founders of Trans-Canada Airlines and the Star Alliance Network. They serve over 6 continents, 220 airports, and 50 million passengers every year. And they have definitely solidified their place within the aviation industry. In fact, their history goes so far back as a trailblazer that they are the first airline to implement non-smoking policies on airplanes. Now, as we've all experienced within the past few months and now almost years, the COVID-19 pandemic has definitely hard hit many industries, including the aviation industry. And this was not missed in Air Canada as well, as they lost $3.776 billion in 2022. Their revenues were definitely cut because of the pandemic and many restrictions that were put in place by local, state, and national governments, as well as international travel restrictions that were implemented. But this is not the first challenge that they've encountered as a company that has caused such restrictions and financial losses. They had to partake in many structural changes as a company and as an airline and launch new routes after challenges presented themselves from the Gulf War. So, without a doubt, Air Canada will bounce back from this, and with the following recommendations that we've provided, we believe that we can best utilize their external communication measures to bring consumers back onto airplanes.
Hi, my name is Natasha. I'm a finance specialist, and today I will be focusing on the environment and industry in which Air Canada operates. Air Canada is a Canadian airline operating in the transportation industry, or more specifically, the aviation industry. This industry once gave Air Canada, which was formerly known as TransCanada Airways, a monopoly over it. In recent years, though, the Canadian aviation industry has been gaining more competitors. However, it is still dominated by two main airlines, which are WestJet and Air Canada. New airlines, including Porter Airlines and Flair Airlines, are trying to get away from this two-airline model by operating in the industry. Since Air Canada has so much control over this industry, they are able to play around with prices in order to knock down any of their competitors that are trying to compete for their spot at the top. Despite the dramatic halt in travel due to the pandemic, the Canadian aviation industry is actually expected to grow by over 50% in the next 20 years. New competition in this industry is really good for consumers because it leads to lower airfare prices, which in turn makes more people want to travel by air. The customers in this industry are highly price sensitive. They are always looking for the best deal and the cheapest flight that they can possibly find. Thinking back to the last time you booked a flight, I'm sure many of you looked for the cheapest flight that you can find without placing much importance on which airline was offering the flight. Customers' interaction with the aviation industry has been greatly improved in recent years due to the implementation of online sales, mobile services, and third-party seat sales. Customers really enjoy being able to book a flight anytime, anywhere, on their phone or on their computer, and being able to check in online rather than having to wait in long lineups at the airport or having to deal with a travel agent. Air Canada has quickly and efficiently implemented this change. The Canadian aviation industry in which Air Canada operates is a government-regulated industry. Transport Canada is the primary agency that overlooks the safety and security aspects of this industry. Some of their responsibilities include avoiding air operator certificates, approving manual and maintenance procedures, overseeing training and licensing of pilots, AMEs, and air traffic controllers, overseeing the delivery of special air services, and finally, administering aircraft registration and deregistration. In terms of the economic aspects of the industry, the Canadian transportation industry is responsible for issuing economics licenses to air carriers, overseeing new companies wanting to provide air transportation, ensuring air carriers' compliance with minimum insurance requirements and passenger protection initiatives, and lastly, issuing permits to foreign airlines wishing to execute certain operations to or from Canada. Additionally, the Canada Border Services Agency regulates all matters having to do with the front border, collecting duties on imported assets and commodities, certifying the lawful operation of aircrafts entering Canada, protecting Canada from the importation of drugs, invasive species, and defective products, ensuring that immigration laws are enforced in Canada, evaluating the permissibility of an air carrier's operation in Canada, and resolving issues associated with improperly documenting passengers are some of their responsibilities. The airline industry in which Air Canada operates is an industry that is highly competitive. The consumers market consists of people of all ages that can afford a flight. This industry is also very regulated. The industry is constantly evolving and implementing new technological advancements. It will surely be an industry that is around forever and will continue to grow in the years to come.
My part is talk about problems and challenges that Air Canada is currently facing. For people who's living in Canada, if we are planning travel by airplane, Air Canada must be the first thing that comes into our mind. As the largest airline in Canada, they always had a high cost performance and low accident rate. However, Air Canada faces many problems and challenges. One of the problems I want to focus today is Air Canada needs to improve their ability to respond to the emergency issues. In January 2020, the COVID-19 started. Many countries decided to close their border, limited their entry, and also shut down the non-essential business activities. At the same time, travelers starting to concern about their health conditions during the travel process, so they had to give up their travel. But Air Canada's customer service seems not ready to deal with such a large number of the reforms. Even they officially announced they're working hard on it, but people are not believe it. There are a lot of negative reviews began to appear online. Most of them complaining about not receive the refund or cannot contact the customer service. Those negative reviews has reduced Air Canada's credibility in people's mind. after experiencing 2 years hard time, the COVID almost over. While everybody is preparing to return their normal life, the war started. In February 2022, the war between Russia and Ukraine started. This war also involved many countries including United States, Canada, and Europe. By the end of February, Canada announced that they decided to close the airspace for the Russian aircraft operator. 1 week after, the Russians responded the same thing, which means all the airplanes that flies to Asia needs to be changed their airline just to avoid the Russians' airspace. Air Canada was particularly passive about this emergency. They urgently changed their air routine and noticed to their passengers. I am from China. Last year, I booked airplane called AC010 from Air Canada, which takes 13 hours fly from Montreal to Shanghai. 2 weeks ago, I received a phone call from Air Canada. They tell me that now I need to fly to US first and transfer to South Korea or Taiwan, and then transfer again to Shanghai. I finally decided to cancel my family visit plan after receiving all the information from Air Canada. To be honest, as a customer, I was expecting that Air Canada could help me to do more, but they didn't. Both COVID and the war will suddenly happen and nobody prepared for it. However, as the largest airline company in Canada, it is necessary for Air Canada to be ready to deal with all emergencies and help their customers to deal with the difficulties.
Hi, I'm Aëlle Olier and I'm specialized in business management. My goal in this project was to analyze the external communication channels of Air Canada. First, it's very important to precise that Air Canada is so much more than just a simple airplane company. It's really an ambassador for the world. Indeed, through its kindness, compassion, and equality, Air Canada is trying every day to promote Canada's value all over the world. To analyze its external communication channels, I principally went on its website and on the social medias. Why? Because I wanted to understand what messages they wanted to communicate and how they did it. So for the website, I found it very easy to use with its different sections: flights, bookings, checking, and flight status. It was very easy to use. The website of this international company is disponible in 3 languages: English, French, and Chinese, which enable to have a larger target of clients. Furthermore, we can see on the top of the website an apology message about the delay for calling them, and by directly informing the customer of their default, Air Canada chose to be transparent with them, and it's a very good thing to gain customer trust. Furthermore, we can see on the bottom of the main page a partnership with Apple, which shows to everyone that Air Canada is a very modern company. Air Canada also developed its mobile application, which enables an easier access to information for its clients and enables them to buy tickets anywhere they want very easily. We can also observe that Air Canada was able to adapt to COVID-19 very quickly. Indeed, we can see on the website a special page for COVID-19 where we can see a description, a perfect description of the procedure to follow to travel safely with Air Canada. Furthermore, on its website, we can also observe that Air Canada multiplied initiatives in support of Ukraine, and by showing its initiative to everyone, Air Canada shows to the world that it supports important causes and help when it can, and that's another point linked to Canada's values. So the next step to analyze external communications of Air Canada, as I said before, was to analyze the social medias. So I went on social medias to see their account, and I directly noted that this social media account give us want to travel. Indeed, by sharing with us heavenly pictures and discount on their flights, Air Canada shows us that everything is in favor to make us travel and discover new horizons and cultures. To go further, we booked a flight ticket with Air Canada to fully live the experience of this company, and during these 2 weeks, we frequently have the opportunity to win gifts and to earn points on our Air Canada's account. And by making these activities like this, Air Canada strengthens its good image and makes its company more attractive. And furthermore, having booked our ticket 2 months ago, it has been 2 months. We frequently receive mails from them checking if we are okay and proposing us new destination to discover, which is a very good way for the company to stay in touch with its clients.
Now, as we've discussed, we believe that Air Canada does certain things extremely well concerning their communications out to their clients. First, they make it sure that their clients know how easy it is to travel with Air Canada, book tickets, flights, and get to destinations. Using their social media and other platforms as well, they also highlight the many partnerships that they have, most recently with the Olympic Association and Canadian Olympic Team, and their Aeroplan membership benefits that you get by signing up with Air Canada's Aeroplan and receiving points for traveling. All three of these things are definitely the highlights of their external communications at present. But we believe with the losses from the pandemic, this has caused too much decreased ridership due to fear of traveling and uncertainty that we think that Air Canada should pivot to our recommended two-pronged strategy. The first part of this is that Air Canada needs to use its methods to ensure safety of traveling now in the given situation, especially with ever-evolving measures. We believe that Air Canada should use its external communication methods, most notably social media, advertisements, newsletters, and whatever other fits, to highlight the current travel situation, restrictions, and make it known where Canadians can travel to internationally and nationally, and make those destinations a highlight, which leads into our second prong. They need to refocus their media on destination travel. Because of the pandemic, many, like myself, have been at home for too long, and we all have an itch to travel. Air Canada needs to pivot its current media away from the partnerships, the membership benefits, and towards a call to action to riders to get them traveling again. By highlighting safety, it ensures the clients that they feel comfortable traveling on planes once again, and that Air Canada is taking the proper measures, which we know they are, and that riders are wearing masks or whatever may be asked of local governments to keep all riders on airports safe. Also, because of different circumstances that Han highlighted before across the world, there's ever-changing flight patterns and restrictions given whatever event it may be at this point. So they need to use their external communications to highlight places where they can get consumers and that can be good destinations for them that are both safe and enjoyable. And the second, this call to action to get people out and traveling, we need to refocus a lot more postings on destination travel that will engage consumers and bring them back out to travel. This rollout with newsletters, ads, and other channels will get Air Canada back on the right path and increase those profits. Thank you all for listening, and please, if you have questions, please ask. Thank you so much.